software. Now the first step we are going to do, you are going to link your Dreamweaver to the website folder that you are going to work on. So now how do you do that? Right up here we are seeing there is a banner, a ribbon banner. It has different fields: a file, edit, view, insert, mode. So now we will go to site and we'll say new site. So now here, what would you like to name your site? Now my site is where looks UG. So you ignore this part, then you click next. Here you say no, I don't want to use a server technology. You continue. Now here you browse to where your website is. Yeah, when you can browse to the desktop, you go where your website folder is, then you select. Yeah. So you need to make sure that it's your website is Dell desktop in the folder of your your website. That is works UG. So you click next. So now here they say what folder on your server would you want to store your files. Again, you are going to come here and select the folder. So make sure you select the folder. I selected the desktop UG, then you click next and click next, then done. Now after, you will see that your folder is now on, you will see it on your right side here. You seeing our folder is where looks UG, CSS and images. So this is the folder. So now after, now you have linked your folder to the Dreamweaver. So now you're going to start on developing your website. So remember, I told you we are going to do a static website and we are going to use two languages. We are going to use HTML and we are going to use CSS. So whatever pages we are creating, we are going to create them with HTML, then we will add style using the CSS. So now we are going to first create the home page, the page we did the layout for. It's called the home page. But now when we are creating it, always the first page, the home page, we don't call it the home page. When we are saving it, we save it as an index page. The reason we save it as an index page, I will be sharing it with you, but we always save it as an index page. So now we are going to go to, now when we are creating web pages, we are going to create them as HTML web pages. So we are going to create our first page, it's the home page, but we are going to create it as an index page. So I'm going to place HTML here. So now this is the Dreamweaver area where we design the web page. So now first, I'm going to first go here and save as. Remember, it has to be saved in the website folder. So I'm going to name it index.html. So I'm going to save. So now this is going to be my home page. The index page is the same as home page, but due to since the server the server does not read home pages, about us pages. It always reads index pages. So you need to make sure the home page, you don't save it as homepage.html. You need to save it as index.html. So now when we save our web page, you will see here that we have our it's already in our folder. Where looks UG, we have our index page there. So now the first thing, we are going to change the title from untitled to the name of the website, which is where looks UG. Then I will save. So now we are going to start on developing our template in Dreamweaver. Remember, all of you have your templates. So now this is my template. For me, this is my template. I have arranged my template like this. First thing, your template needs to have a specific width. You need to have a specific width of the website you're going to do, and always the website width begins from 960 pixels like up to 1400 pixels. So you need to make sure that the website you are designing, its width, the width here, it's between 960 to 1400 pixels. So now that's why I added this, to show you that you need to have a website width. So also these other areas, remember this is our header here, this is our header, this is our menu area, this is our menu. Now this is my content area. All of this from here to here down, this is my content area. Now this is my footer here. This one here is my footer. This one here is my footer. So now, so you need to know the sizes you are going to use, the height for each area you are going to, which height, which width. So you need to put that in consideration when you are developing your website. So now this is my layout here, and this is the layout I'm going to design in Dreamweaver. Now there are two formats of designing a website in Dreamweaver. You can design one by divs, using divs, or two, you can design using tables. But yeah, since we are new, we are going to design our website. This time around, we are going to design our website using divs, tables. Since all of us draw our layouts in tables, so we are going to design our website using tables. So now we are going to make sure we draw all these tables in Dreamweaver and then start laying out our website. So now how do we do that? Now when you open Dreamweaver, here up on this menu, it has different items. So in these items, there is an item which has insert. Now when you go to the item insert, you will see here that it has table. So now we are going to create tables now for our layout. But now the first table ever we're first going to create, the first table we create is called the wrapper. A wrapper is the table where our website, all our tables are going to be. The wrapper is like now this table here where all our website tables are found. Yeah, this is this table you see here is the table where all these other tables are what are found. So that is the first table we do. So now how do we do that? We are going to go to insert, we go to table, and it is going to bring this dialog box. So now you are going to give it always the table is one row and one column. Now the table width is the width you gave your website. For mine is 1100, so that means I'm going to make my table width 1100, and I'm going to change, you remember 1100, it's pixels. You need to make sure you make it pixels. Table width 1100 pixels. So body thickness, make it 0. Cell padding, make it 0. Cell spacing, make it 0. So make sure your first table we are doing, we call it the wrapper. Make sure it has these options. You specify the table width in pixels. It has one row, one column. Then you place OK. So now this is the table. Now after inserting it, the first thing you do is to align it in the center. You will go down this property, the page property. You make sure the alignment is center. The reason why we are putting the alignment in center is because our website has to be centered on the browser. Our website has to be centered on the browser. So now this is our wrapper. So now inside this table I can now click here, and now inside this table I can now click inside the table. Inside this table is where I'm going to create now the other tables, what we call the website areas, the header, the menu area, the content area, the footer area, and all the different areas. So we are going to put those website areas inside this table here, inside this table. So now, since we have done doing our wrapper, I'm going to click inside, and now I'm going to start creating these tables, the header, the menu area, the content area, all this here is a content area, and then the footer. So now I'm going to click inside, I go to insert, I go to tables. Now here I'm going to change. I'm going to make one row, one column, but this time I'm not going to use table width pixels. I'm going to make it 100, and I'm going to change it from pixels to percentage. The inner tables, the website areas, header, menu, content areas, and footer, we always give the table 100%. We make it one row, one column, 100%. One row, one column, 100%. So you need to be keen on this. We are creating the header. Now after I create that, I'm going to click OK. So now I've inserted my first table inside, the header inside. So now right now you may not see it, but when I try to click inside here, and when you look here, you will find that you have one table here. This is our wrapper, and then you have a second table here. Now this second table is the table I've just inserted, our header. This table here is the table of the wrapper. Remember, the header has to be in the wrapper. So now let me click in my header, click in it, and I give it the name header. So now that is one. So I'm now going to create another table for the menu, but remember I need to make sure I create that table inside the wrapper. So I will click in the header table, I click on it here, so it is the last table here. So I will click inside the header, I click on it, I select its table here, then I go to insert table, one row one column. Remember, one row one column, 100%, don't change this. I click OK. So now this is my second table. Now this table is going to be the menu area. So now I have my header, which is in the wrapper, and I have my menu. When I click here, it's the menu. When I click here, it's the wrapper. When I click in the header, when I click here, it's the header. When I click here, it's the wrapper. So that means my menu table and the header table, my menu table and the header table are inside the wrapper. So you need to make sure all the tables that you are creating are inside the wrapper. So this is my header, this is my menu area. So now the next table is, I'm going to go back to my layout. I see the next table. Now I'm done with the header, I'm done with the menu. Now I'm going to now I have this area here. This area here is the content area, and this is the content area. Now the content area has two different area. It has this area here, and it has these areas here. This area here, and then it has this area. So they are different, they don't look alike. So we are going to create two tables for the content area. This, the one for the product categories and the slide images, and then this other area here with the products and these text headers of the products. So what do I mean with that? I'm going to go back to Dreamweaver. I click the last table I've created, I click on it down here, then I come here to insert, click table, I click OK. Now I'm going to call this content area 1. So now this is the what? This is the product categories and slide images is the content area 1. So now I'm going to create also the content area 2. Now the content area 2 is this product text header and the products themselves. So it is from here to here. It comes from here to here up. So I'm going to come here, right click the last table I've created, I make sure I select it here, and you need to make sure all of them are inside the wrapper. So I click the last table I've created, I click on table, I come to insert table, one row one column, 100%. Don't change these settings, and click OK. So I'm going to make this content content area 2. This is content area 2. So now I go back to my layout, and now I'm going to create my last content. My last website area is the footer. So I will click inside content area 2. I make sure I select that table. The table is selected. I go to insert. I insert the last table here, and I'm going to make now this my footer. So now you need to make sure all these website areas are inside the wrapper. So you need to make sure when you click the first table here, all these areas are inside this table. So that's when you know that yes, your website is in the wrapper. So now let me save. So now after developing those main sections on your website, now we are going to start adding the content. Now in your header, we are going to start splitting the tables and adding content in the tables. Now now when you see this area, our top area, it has 1, 2, 3. It has 1, 2, 3 columns. It has 1, 2, 3. This column 1, column 2, column 3. So we are going to go to Dreamweaver. Let me remove this, and I'm going to click inside this header table. I come here to table. I say split cell. Now I'm going to split this into 3 columns. I click OK. Now this column 1, when I come here, it has the logo. So I'm going to copy the logo content. I come to Dreamweaver, I paste. Dreamweaver is copying and paste. So this is the first column. It has the logo. Now the second column, when I go to the second column, is divided into 2 parts. 1, 2. Even the last, it is divided in 1, 2. So I'm going to go back in Dreamweaver, click this column, and right click table. I split this into 2 rows. I click OK. Once I click in this last one, table, split cell in 2 rows. So now I can go back here and I copy this, I paste it here. Now I start copying the information. Remember, you need to have the website information you are developing. So you just copy and paste. Copy and paste. So now I go here, I copy this, get in touch here, copy, Dreamweaver, I paste there, get in touch, I come back, I copy, here, so now this is my header. I have the logo, email address, then the get in touch. So now this is the first the first area. So now the second area is the menu area, and it has how many menu areas? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now these are 7 menu areas. That means these are 7 columns. So we are going to split the menu area into 7 columns. So I'm going to come here. I click in the menu area here. Now I'm going to click inside. I'm going to table. I'm going to split it into 7 columns. So now the first column is home. second is about us. The third is our shop. The fourth is payment. The fifth is shipping and delivery. The fourth, this is the help center. And the last one is the contact us. So you see, now these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So those are the 7 columns that we have divided in the menu area. Now we go to our next area, the slide area and the product categories. For it, it has 2 columns. It has this column here, 1, and then this column, the column for the product categories and the column for the slide images. So we are going to go here. Now I'm going to remove this is content area 1. I'm going to split it first into 2 columns. 1, 2. Now this column, the left column, I need to split it in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. I'm going to split this left column of content area 1 into 7 tables. So I'm going to go here to Dreamweaver. I click inside this the left table, right click, table, split a cell into 7 columns. Hope we are following. 7 columns. So I'm going to copy product categories. I'll come, I'll paste it here. I told you it is copy and paste. Clothes, copy. I paste it. I paste here. Now you need to use different layouts. Don't use my layout. All of you have your your layout. So make sure you use your layout. Just look at the steps we are using and come up with your own and come up with your own layout. Paste, jewelry, copy, paste, custom accessories, paste, and also accessories. I'll paste here. So now this area here is going to be my slider images. So now this is the so now we are first doing the tables and adding content. Then after we are going to add the style, so that the style now it's the one which is going to make our website look beautiful. But first we fill in the content, then later we start working on the style, adding the style, the images and the what. So now let's go to content area 2. Now content area 2 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. It has 8. 8 rows. So we're going to click inside. I'm going to go to right click. I'm going to split this cell into rows. There are 5, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8. Click OK. Now the first one is today's deals. Copy, paste. This is for the products. Now the second is men's fashion. Now this is men's fashion. We go to the third is women's fashion. Come here to women's fashion, and now the last one we have kids fashion. We go to kids fashion. Now the last one is the footer, so we are just going to copy this and then we paste. Now this is the reason why we should always have layouts. So layouts make us developing a website look easy, because we always have a reference. So when you look at the tables of your layout, it is easy for you to develop those layouts in Dreamweaver. So now I will now save. Now when I try to view my website in the browser, remember the only way you will view your website in the browser, I come here, I view it in the browser here. Yeah, so now this is my website in the browser. It is disorganized like this, but this is how it looks right now. Just content, it has no style. So now that's what we are going to learn now. How do you add style? But before we go to that, now we have been designing this website. We have been using the design view of Dreamweaver, but Dreamweaver has free views. It has the design view. In the design view, you will just design. You don't need to know code. You just need to know how to work with the tables. How do you create tables? How do you work with the tables with the design view? Now with the split view, you can be able to view the code and the what? And the design. You can be able to see the everything you design here. You will be able to see the code that has made it. Now that is the split. With the split, you see the code and the design view. Now when you go to the code view, now the code view, you will just see code. You will just see code. You are not going to design. Now the code view is for those people who know code. So you can design your website using code if you know code, but if you don't know code, you can design, you use the design view. So if you want to learn code, you will be able to do something in the design view. Then you go to the code. You go to the code here. Yes, and you will see how was that code done. Okay, let me do something here. Which code has made that table? Which code is what? So now this is the table wrapper. So this is our wrapper. You remember, this is the full table where our website is. So when you click on this table, all your content area, all your content has to be inside this table here. Inside this table here. that is how we develop our website from scratch using Dreamweaver. So I want you to practice this. Then in my next video, I'm going to show you now how do we add CSS. How do we now style up our website? We add color. How do we add color? How do we add different CSS roles? So, and this is going to help us to learn some CSS, how with some CSS here. So thank you very much. So you can now do this. You can practice this in the next 15 minutes. In the next try to come up with something like this in the next 1 hour. So I'm going to be sharing with you another video of how we add CSS in our layout. Thank you.